Welcome back to the BookEnds YouTube channel. I'm James McGowan.
I'm Jessica Faust.
We are literary agents who have taken our popular blog to YouTube to discuss all things publishing. And today's a fun one. Today is all about celebrating. We want to tell you the 10 things that writers are forgetting to celebrate.
Yeah.
Both before getting an agent, while you have an agent. I know I'm always reminding my clients to celebrate. Whenever we get an offer, I tell folks to celebrate the offer, celebrate when you finalize the offer, celebrate when you sign the contract. Just keep celebrating. Don't stop celebrating.
I do too. And you know what? I'm a terrible celebrator.
You are a terrible celebrator.
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that. So
Yeah, I need to make this list for myself.
yeah, a new goal for next year. Be better at celebrating.
Yes.
So pursuing a book getting published is not easy. I think everybody who's watching our videos already knows that, or you're quickly becoming aware of that. But there is a lot to celebrate outside of getting an agent, getting the book deal, and the book publishing. So we wanted to give you 10 things that make a list, and when you do them, create it like treat it like a checklist. Celebrate those things as they come up. So we're going to start from the beginning and work our way to the end. But the first thing you should celebrate is outlining that book or writing your first chapter, putting pen to paper. That's a huge task. And I cannot tell you how many people we might come across as agents who say, "Oh, you're an agent? I've been always wanting to write a book," or "I'm going to write a book." Okay, but have you written it? Have you started to do it? And a lot of people don't. A lot of people never get there. So celebrate that you have started.
I just got a phone call today from somebody out of the blue who had a really great, important idea for a book and wanted to know what they should do. And I was like, well, you got to write something down.
Yeah.
And they had
so many people don't get there.
A lot of people never get there. And I'll be honest, I had been asked years ago to write a nonfiction book about agenting, and just trying to create the outline, that was enough for me. I couldn't do more than that. I couldn't even finish that and do a good job. Nope. So celebrate
it's
that.
Something to celebrate. Outlining or writing that first chapter is something to celebrate. Okay, so the next thing is we're skipping a whole lot of steps in the writing of the book, but celebrate finishing your book in the first place. Finishing that first draft is huge.
Huge.
So now, like, we're whittling ourselves down here. The people who've never gotten to write in the first place, the people who start to write and never finish their book, there are too many to count. So
I can't even imagine writing a book. I cannot even fathom sitting at my computer and writing a book. I can't.
It's huge.
Not even a picture book. Like, you writing that picture book, there is just no way I could do that. So the fact that all of you are sitting there and writing a full manuscript is like mind-blowing to me.
It is. It's pretty cool.
So
every chapter, like if you're writing a full novel, every chapter is a massive undertaking.
Oh my Lord.
How many times do you get writer's block, or you come up a plot point where you're like, "Oh, I've wrote myself into a corner." All of those things are big mental gymnastic decisions that you have to make. And it is huge when you finally finish it. And when you do, save the document, close the computer, and celebrate it, because it's huge. You can come back to it and revise it later. This is a big moment.
Big one.
I think another point of leveling up is when you start to connect with other writers and you start to connect with the critique partners and beta readers and stuff like that. Finding community is very important in publishing. And when you finally make that jump into doing that, I think it signals something, right? I think it signals something from being a writer to now being an author, right? To being a business person and treating it like a business. And I think that's something to celebrate, because you've found the people who are also on this journey who can uplift you and can help make you grow and improve in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is it's just an important part of having that growth mindset in publishing, which is really cool.
Yeah, I would expand that even just being here, watching this video and being a part of Query Tracker, getting to that point where you've decided, I am no longer in my bubble writing, but now I'm going to explore what publishing is really about. That's huge.
And I will say, almost every client on my list, almost every querying author I've met, deeply want that, right? They want to be published. And I think it's so easy to skip over all of these things because we're always focused on having that hard copy of a book in our hand, which can take years.
Yeah.
And I think that since we're always looking forward, we're missing these parts. We're missing this moment where we do finish that first book, and then it's just becomes something that we're trying to get out there instead of like, holy crap, I wrote that, and this person helped me, and that person helped me. So it's really cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
can we paraphrase? It's publishing is about the journey, just like life.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, next level up is when you're sending your first query.
Yeah.
Huge moment.
Oh my gosh. You all have no idea how you don't give yourself enough credit for that.
Yeah, and how grateful that we actually are that we get them too.
Yes.
It is a big moment. It's a big thing that you're doing to send that book out to other people, to put yourself out there really, because how much of ourselves go into writing our books. It is huge. It's vulnerable. It's exciting. It's something that so many people, again, we're just whittling down the people who make it to the stage.
Oh, so many people just don't ever get here. They
Yeah.
just don't. They freeze up. They just don't get here.
Yeah. So you probably heard publishing is a marathon, not a sprint. We're putting little checkpoints throughout the entire marathon that you
Mhm.
need to recognize. And the next one, we're gonna get hate for this one, I think. Your
I
first
hope not.
rejection. Your first rejection. It's counterintuitive, maybe, but someone read it. Someone read your book. You've crossed that rite of passage of getting someone who rejected it, right? Like how many people paste their rejections on the wall or on their
Yeah,
computer
yeah.
or what have you? It's a big moment to get your first rejection.
I tell this to all my clients when I put their book on submission and I send them that first rejection we get from an editor. What I always say is it's a great sign to me because it means that now I know editors are reading, that it took maybe this long, maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's 3, whatever it took them. That first rejection came, which means somebody's reading.
I like
And
that.
it always takes somebody longer to offer than it does for them to reject. So that next email might be something better.
In many ways, that's when querying actually starts, right? Like you've
Yeah.
done all this research, and I'm not discounting that work, but it's when you finally get a response, you're like, I'm really out here in the trenches.
You're in it. You're in it.
So, um, we're skipping a couple steps because now hopefully you celebrated getting an agent and signing with that person. But getting revisions and finishing those revisions from your agents or even your editors is exciting. It's more people that are signing on and co-signing this book and helping
Yeah.
make it the best it can be. And that's something to celebrate to me. That's like having people who love your book as much as you do, who want to make it better and give
Mm.
you this feedback that you can learn and grow from and better the book is super cool.
And better your next book.
Better
And
your
your
next
next
book
one
too.
after that. Each of this is what so many say they want. They want feedback from a professional. You're getting it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that includes too, I would argue that includes conferences, if you're getting feedback from
Mm.
conferences, because again, it's another point where you have put yourself out there, you've invested in yourself and your business as an author, and you're getting feedback that's gonna help you grow from it.
Totally.
Getting an offer call,
Mm.
speaking with an agent, I think a lot of authors celebrate the actual signing. And
Mm.
the process of the offer is a stressful one because
Yeah.
there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of feelings, it's a big decision to make. But taking a beat after that phone call, whether it's directly after or that night or that
Yeah.
weekend, to just freak out and have fun and be excited because everything you've been working towards so far is paying off in this moment. And that's huge. How many
That's
times
funny.
can I say that's huge in this video?
Many, many times.
Right.
That's funny because I just got an offer today for a client and I sent it over and I said, we're going back to other publishers, so there's more to come, but celebrate it because you sold it. We
Yep.
haven't agreed to celebrate it yet, but that offer came in, so we know we sold it. So we should celebrate this.
For sure. Yeah. And it's easy, right? Because there's a lot of anxiety in this moment because you're like, "Oh, I got to make a decision and what's going to happen next?" Or if in your case, having an offer with a publisher, it's like, who else is going to come in? Someone's going to reject. We're going to get all this.
Yeah.
All of that is easy. It drowns out the excitement
Hmm.
of, I did it. It's happening.
Yeah. It's happening. I like that. That it's happening moments.
Yeah. Signing your contract. Again, by this point, you've accepted an offer and you've probably celebrated, but when you get that actual paper contract that your agent has negotiated and you write your name on it, it's fully official.
Well, the funny thing too is you accept you accept the offer, right? So you celebrate that, like whatever publisher bought my book, but the contract comes so many weeks later. Publishing is slow, people. It is slow, and it can come months later. So you're already well in it at that point, and sometimes you forget what a big moment that signing is because you've already blown past the celebration of the deal.
Yeah. And hey, if you get an advance on your contract, It's coming. So
It's coming.
celebrate that.
That
That should have been one on here, but let's add it now. When you get that advance, celebrate that.
first check.
Buy yourself something.
You should celebrate every check. We should
Love
all
it.
celebrate every check.
Every single check. Loyalty check
Someone
for a penny or up. Celebrate.
Someone once said to me, you should celebrate every time you get money, even if you find a penny on the sidewalk. And so I do that, and it's kind of fun. So even if you get that royalty check for 14 cents, that is worth celebrating because you are getting paid for your work.
Spend it all in one place. Getting good reviews. I think it's a lot easier for bad reviews to drown out the excitement of good reviews, but books are super subjective. So when you find people that don't love it, fine. The people that do love it are what's worth it, and I think are what's worth paying attention to. You know, whether it's a trade review or it's a reader review or it's something on Instagram or Twitter that people post and tag. If you get a book talk, right? Like all of that's super exciting. People loved your book enough to tell other people about it.
Yeah.
And that's worth celebrating.
Yeah, definitely. One caveat to that, if bad reviews really get you down, don't read reviews.
Oh, absolutely.
Just don't read them. But I had an experience this week that I was celebrating that I had recommended a book of mine to a client and to a friend, and the friend has a book club, and somebody else in that book club I ran into at another event, and she came up to me to tell me how much they loved the book and how much fun it was at their book club and how the author called in and they got to talk to her, and it was such a thrill for me. And so for me, what I do is when I'm celebrating something, I often share it on Slack with everybody. And I think we all try to do that here. And I think that's important too. When you're celebrating these things, don't just hold them in, share them, shout it out. And for the record, that was No Ordinary Thursday by Anoop Judge, because I should do a shout out. But I was really excited to share that with everybody because that was something that I never thought of, and yet was a really cool celebration for me.
Yeah, we need a checklist for agent celebrations next.
We do. We really do, because I am terrible at it.
And our last one, but by no means our last one. Like if you find something else, put it in the comments, put it on your list, celebrate it whenever you want. Again, we're all about celebrating, but starting to write your next book.
Yeah.
That has, for me, that's a huge shift, right? You've done it once. Can you do it again? Are you willing to do it again? Are you ready to turn this into a full business, a career? So I think when you start to write your next book, whether you're querying your first one, whether you just got an agent and you're starting your next one, or you sold it and you're starting your next one, anytime you start your next book, for me, it's like, okay, passion unlocked, right? Like you're doing it all over again.
Yeah.
Despite how hard it was, you want to keep doing it.
And then celebrate it all again.
And celebrate it all again. Yeah.
For every book.
Erase the little check marks and start from the beginning. So yeah. Well, keep celebrating is basically what we're saying. But these particular moments are ones that we hope you don't overlook. And we hope you don't let your friends overlook. Friends don't let friends not celebrate. So keep this list. Don't forget to celebrate every time you come to watch our YouTube videos.
Yes, we celebrate it. So thank you.
Actually. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can celebrate every Wednesday when we post a new video. And we'll see you back here next time.
Bye.